The death of Athene. He didn't actually, did he die?
He has been called the best gamer in the world, hands down. He's raised more than $15 million. He works very closely with Save the Children.
Oh. That's done. Deleted, finished.
Today, Athene got his YouTube channel banned.
Wait.
Everybody in the comments of every section is going in there saying that Athene scammed charity money, Athene is running a cult, etc.
Athene will do anything to get popularity or to fake having popularity.
It's me.
He's scammed people with fucking crypto. He's made some weird fucking cult shit. He's released some crazy ass.
I forgot about the
bullshit
crypto.
YouTube videos. Do you think it's like been worse recently?
I don't know why Athene's so hated.
He literally brainwashes people.
Athene was also banned from Twitch.
What he did was the most scumbaggish piece of shit thing you could ever do.
Maybe it's because he used to be a huge troll and he actually pissed off a lot of people.
Due to the fact that he said insane shit and is also trying.
I think Athene, like, people were mad about Athene because of the like ever since he made like that one science video, and then there was a bunch of like other like metaphysics stuff that he started doing. Like, I think that's whenever people started getting mad about him. Like, there's only a small handful of people that were mad about, like, his WoW videos.
To basically scam people, there has been some backlash from the community.
I don't believe in any of the numbers that he's giving. It's not possible that he could raise that much money.
And then I don't know if, like, when he does shit for charity, if how much of it is actually for charity and how much of it goes into the pocket, you know?
This is the face of a successful cult leader running a very successful scam.
Like, it's a fucking cult, worse than the Forsen Boys.
Nothing's good ever come from strange fringe cult movements led by charismatic and ambitious cult leaders in Germany.
Jesus. Wow. That's a lot, isn't it?
No, like, really, if all of that stuff. I don't think that he scammed charity money. But people think that. And the reason they think that is because other people have made videos and they've talked about that stuff and they've made this guy look like a jackass more than he already is.
That's true. I always thought the cryptocurrency shit was, that was really sketchy, man. I always really thought that cryptocurrency shit was it's not for me. But, like, the other shit, yeah, 100%. Yeah, like the cryptocurrency was, I can't see how that wasn't some sort of a fucking scam, especially the way they were selling it. I remember watching it.
By far, I was the most intelligent person on the planet. More intelligent than Einstein, than anyone on the planet.
That's the thing, right? Is like,
well, he literally thinks he's like the smartest person in the world. He actually thinks that. He literally thinks that he's this generation's Einstein.
But that's because you play the act that you have to play. Actually, he's really not that bad.
Not
you
that
can't
bad.
say that because now they will think that I'm maybe brainwashing you.
I almost think he like might be mentally ill. Like in a really scary, like self-deluded sense.
One could definitely argue that it is partially Athene's own fault.
Like self-deluded sense.
One could
dude, these days right here. These days right here. You have no idea. WoW at this time was like Fortnite was 2 years ago. WoW was at the fucking pinnacle. It was what everybody was talking about. It was what, dude, those were the good old days. 100%. It was amazing, man.
Definitely argue that it is partially Athene's own fault, that it has, for many, often been unclear when he is in character.
I am the one. I'm not a nutcase, I'm one. You got that?
And when he's being serious. Sometimes he deliberately aims for this, to create controversy and draw more attention to his activism and charity endeavors. What was, however, not deliberate or intended was the escalation of extreme accusations against him, leading to the ban of his YouTube and Twitch channels. While all these claims are actually easy to verify as being false, or at the very least be shown to lack evidence, many companies that operate in the current social media climate adapt to negativity by removing the content, or firing or deplatforming who or what may make them lose potential advertisers.
We were live streaming, and right as we were getting into it, YouTube, in their infinite wisdom,
Not good.
Removed our live stream and gave us a strike. When you get a strike, you can't live stream anymore.
It also means that anyone who knows how to create a well-directed shitstorm on the internet has a lot of power. Just convince a certain platform that a certain individual is trouble for them, and you might be able to get them banned or fired.
James Gunn was just fired after offensive tweets dating from 2008.
Athene is no more a fraud or cult leader than PewDiePie is a Nazi, or this man was responsible for the Boston.
I don't know. I mean, like, didn't Athene have, like, didn't he have, like, a compound? It wasn't in, like, Germany or something like that, where people would come and live in the compound? Because if that's what happened, see, like, to me, I'm a very open-minded person. But I also have to have, like, an opinion on shit, too. So here's the thing with me. Whenever he's talking about, like, him doing his charity work and him saying that he's smarter than Einstein or, you know, Bill Gates or whatever, he's clearly not speaking in the tone of voice and in the context that he was using whenever he was doing the best paladin in the world thing. And, like, yeah, you could say that was on purpose or not, but whenever you have, like, all of these other corroborating things with, like, the cryptocurrency stuff, some random guy making his own cryptocurrency and telling people they're going to make their money back off of it, I don't know, man. Like, that seems really bad. And on top of that, you had this compound, and there were, like, there's this girl, I think, that left the compound, and she was crying about it all the time. And then I think she made, like, a video correcting what she said. But, like, I can't imagine that that wasn't made under some degree of threat or something like that, right? That's what's really confusing to me. And, like, what's the problem with me is that I don't really know what's real because I wasn't there. But there have been a number of, like, weird clips and, like, weird things that have happened that absolutely do have some impact. Logical clicking cult? Yeah, the logical clicking stuff. And, like, I think that was kind of like, yeah, the logic cult and stuff like that. That's really what I believe kind of turned public opinion against him much more so than the videos themselves. The negative videos.
Bombing.
On Reddit, there was a lot of speculation about certain suspects who turned out not to be suspects.
Well, they were swearing and saying, Reddit screwed up. You can't be talking like this.
But Athene's deliberate blurring of the line between reality and fiction has made him a very suitable target in a climate where exposing popular personalities gets the most clicks, likes, and upvotes.
Yeah, you get a lot of views for that.
In gaming communities with a strong tendency towards tabloid-like sensationalism, such as Reddit's livestream fail.
My whole opinion on livestream fails, I'm literally scared to even give that because I'm scared I'll get hate for it. That's my opinion. It's fucking brutal. I was just scared to check it. I was just scared to open it. I was like, I don't know what's gonna be there. That's how I get every time I turn my stream off. Like, who knows? If I checked right now, is there a hate thread about me? Am I getting hate? But it's like, if I said or did something bad, it's like, I've always known he was a scumbag. I'm unsubbing from this loser. I'm never watching him again. I suggest all of you do the same, and it's always the top voted comment. And, you know,
it's always negative shit like that. It happens to me too. I get that. I mean, I used to really care a lot more, and, like, it sounds kind of bad, but, like, I've just gotten so much hate over the years, especially in the past, like, year and a half, I'd say. I don't care about it as much now. It doesn't matter as much. Like, if I see a bad thread about me or something like that, it is what it is.
Comment like, well, hey, guys, you know, it wasn't that bad. It's just whatever. Downvoted. Get out of here. That doesn't fit our agenda. You fucking idiot.
LSF used to be a lot worse.
This is why the old Athene persona had to die.
Because you guys tried to do character assassination. I'm gonna have my lawyer talk to you guys because maybe you guys don't think that I'm too credible.
Before making a name for himself in gaming, Athene was a political activist in Belgium as early as from the age of 16, and in 2000 became one of the youngest close elected of the Green Party. A year later, he managed to become part of Belgium's Big Brother TV show, and used this as a platform to raise awareness around racism, which also led to a TV talk show confrontation with the country's most notorious right-wing nationalist. In 2005, he co-founded a political protest party by name of Nay. Despite not having any budget or resources to speak of, our extreme dedication and work ethic landed us tons of media attention. While seemingly physically almost impossible, Athene and Ian personally visited every single house and apartment block in all of Antwerp. Inspired by how far we were able to take things nationally, we wanted to go global. YouTube had only just become a thing, and Athene was determined to find a way for us to establish a massive global audience on it.
I had a genius plan. World of Warcraft, most popular game, 9 million people play it. I just played the game.
That's a long time ago, as you guys can see. Yeah, remember back whenever 9 million people played the game? Dude, that was crazy. Remember that? Those are the days.
He was always exceptionally good at video games and was one of the most feared players of Ultima Online, the first MMO of its size and kind.
I never played this one.
So he got the idea to capitalize on what was becoming insanely popular at the time.
The World of Warcraft.
And so the idea for the Athene YouTube series was born.
Hi everyone, this is Athene, best paladin of the server Battle
I think this is a bad strategy, by the way. I want to say this is a bad strategy. The reason why I think it's a bad strategy is that it's the same thing. It's like basically you're using entertainment content as a Trojan horse to push an ideology. And like this is the same stuff that people complain about with like game developers and like people like that. So it's no surprise that people are gonna be frustrated or get mad at Athene for doing this kind of stuff, because if he literally made the channel and one of the intents of the channel is to establish an online presence to further whatever his ideology is, of course people are going to resent that because they're not there to be a vehicle to further his ideology. Does that make sense? Of course, people are going to feel like they're tricked in a way.
But also the world.
Videos featuring an extravagant, bizarre caricature of a gamer who sort of became the Borat of World of Warcraft. And while clever viewers would be aware that it was all a show, his in-game rankings and achievements were verifiably real.
Today we're featuring a fella from Belgium who thinks he's the finest paladin in all the world.
Belgian Shirin Boumaza is a 28-year-old internet star known to millions on YouTube and to international MMO gamers as Athene. He plays World of Warcraft religiously, even breaking the world record for speed power leveling of a character to level 60 from 4 days to just 1.
The internet is going nuts about me.
More episodes were released introducing his shirtless friend Furious and a gorgeous and apparently mute girlfriend known only as My Bitch.
People from international.
Those are the good days on the internet, man. Let me tell you that, dude. Ooh. Mute meta from 2007. Yeah. So yeah, Athene, I think the best thing, so this is why everybody liked Athene. I think one of the big reasons why everybody liked Athene is that Athene was all of the worst stereotypes about being a gamer. He lived with his mother, and all he did was play World of Warcraft all day. But he was still obviously he still had, you know, his really cool best friend Furious. He still had a cool, like, charismatic personality. He had a hot girlfriend. And even his mom was cool too. So Athene was like, he was what every guy that played World of Warcraft, including myself, wanted to be. I think that's what was so compelling, is that the fact that the fact that wasn't that he had like he was weird or anything like that, but he actually was rank 1. Now at that time, like, people didn't know, like, people say nowadays, oh, he got carried or bought the account or whatever. It doesn't really matter, right? But back then, people believed that he was. And so he was all of these negative stereotypes while simultaneously having all of the positive things that people wanted in life, and he had the bona fides to back it up. Like, it was the perfect character.
They come to me, look, the paparazzi. Shoot them. You see the paparazzi, they just come, they saw the clip on the internet, they saw my bitch. You shooting? Game is gonna start in 1 minute.
For a long time, the Athene Wins YouTube channel was in the top 3 most subscribed worldwide.
Yeah.
And we were the first popular YouTubers to focus on gaming.
Learn to play the kite.
Yeah.
In those first few years, there was literally no money to be made. Live streaming and donation platforms didn't exist yet, and YouTube did not have an international partner program either.
You don't have to pay. You don't have to send me gold in mail.
Yeah, that's the difference between me and Athene right there. Yeah, back in the day, like, there was no real money to be had. Like, the videos just existed on their own. I don't think I can really explain and express, like, how impactful this was for, like, players, especially WoW players back then, because, like, Athene was, like, the thing that was happening on the internet. Everybody would watch the new Athene videos, etc. They were fucking amazing.
For those tips, I just give them for free.
While we continued to push the limits with the Athene series, even going as far to make a full-length feature film, and much later a Belgian television series around the character, the first glimpses that our audience got into the real intentions behind it all was through our net neutrality activism. Something we were heavily focused on.
Well, I think people were pretty much okay with this because it had to do with gaming. So I think this, people were all, like, on board with this.
Fortunately, a lot of websites and communities are focused on fighting dangerous new internet legislations. Back then, we were pretty much alone in this.
Yeah.
Which, grand as it may sound, sometimes made us feel like the future of the internet somewhat depended on us. Especially as we personally often successfully lobbied to raise awareness among members of parliament and significantly impacted the outcome of votes on laws in both the EU and US.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
We also started a weekly series called iPower, discussion videos on important topics that we wanted to
raise this I want to say, like, all of that stuff that he was doing was really cool. Like, I love this.
Awareness about. But even as we became more and more known as really being activists, not everyone liked how we were sometimes gaming the system.
Yep.
Fans are trying to tell me he cares about people.
He is getting fucking views for this type of shit.
And the reason
nothing has changed. Nowadays, I guess Tanya would have to get in a fucking hot tub. It's been the same shit. The same shit back in 2006 and 2007. It's the same shit.
Put misleading titles and his half-naked bitch in the middle of his videos so that he can help more people.
Fuck you, man. You're not that cool.
Scratching out her boobs. Oh my god.
Kick your fucking ass. God fucking damn it.
It worked. That's why they did it.
In 2009, we went through a lot of transitions as we were trying to figure out how to fund what we were doing and depend less on our parents. Athene began to dedicate his game-breaking mindset fully to online poker, confident that he could dominate it just as much as he did with online games. Turned out he was right, and literally managed to turn $5 into $300,000 in less than 1 year, which became our main source of funding for years to come. We even did a range of Athene videos that focused...
Shit, sorry. Did that happen? Because, like, yeah, it did. Because, like, with all this stuff, like, you never really know, and so that's why I wanted to ask you. Of course it did happen. That's nuts, man. That's absolutely fucking nuts. Even became PokerStar's partner. Okay.
On his poker career.
Come on, give me some hands. Give me some hands so I can own it up.
I remember watching some of these streams,
I didn't hit it, I bluff. You want to go to the river? Go to the river. You want to call me down? Ship in the dough. That's how I roll. I'm 24 table and owning it up. I made my own program. Better than that Table Ninja crap. I made my own Table Ninja. You gonna bluff me out of the top? Little bitch trying to bluff me out? Oh, are you trying to... Look, what he's trying to do. Trying to bet against me? Shut up, bitch. King against him. Like, bring in the dough.
The team evolved to mostly being just Athene and myself, as Ian and my brother Dean, aka Furious, parted ways. And we spent a very long time working on a documentary that we
always forgot that Reese and Furious were brothers.
Could inspire many others into a more activism-oriented lifestyle.
This one right here, like this video, I think Link said this too whenever he did his video about Athene. This video, I think, was a turning point where everybody was like, okay, you know, like what's going on with Athene? And this is where things, I think, started to go, like, kind of more downhill for Athene. And he took, like, this more, you know, I guess, like, scientific or, like, world-minded, like, approach.
Of this somewhat scattered and confused our fan base, which was still deeply rooted in gaming and more particularly World of Warcraft. So as we had disappeared from the top YouTubers landscape, we decided it was time for a comeback. Many people go viral because they're lucky, or because they're already connected with other popular phenomena in some way.
That's
Most
true.
of the time, in everything we did, we had neither the luck nor the connections, and a lot more trial and failure was involved than most people are aware of. But we did have the absolutely insane work ethic that we had built up years before as idealistic political activists.
He's embarked on a very ambitious project. He's helping us all, you know, together to the top, right?
Getting other YouTubers to list you in their recommend.
Dude, I forgot all about this, dude. TTTT. It was like, remember, it was like 4 T's, and he would do videos where he would watch other people's Together to the Top videos. Oh man, it was so good. Fred, yeah, those were the. I would say those are the good old days, but those were the old days.
Box on their own channel was a popular strategy at the time, so naturally, Athene had to break that game as well.
It was smart, yeah.
Hi, Aaron in real life. France 619.
Upload one video an hour. Yeah.
He's very dedicated to what he does.
I do every single personal video.
He embarked on a journey of making a private personal video for each and every person who would list him on their channel. Even if you're not really a YouTuber and you didn't have any videos.
Holy shit.
Instead of spending an inhuman amount of hours every day playing poker, he now spent them in front of our camera, personally thanking and inspiring
that is really cool, man.
One by one. Many of which ended up uploading their personal Athene video on their own channel, as our channel once again skyrocketed in popularity.
See, this is like back at, like nowadays, all you have to do is you want to play, you want to get in a lobby with Pokimane. But back in the day, you had to follow Athene, and Athene would make a video about you, right? Like this is what it used to be. This used to be networking back before people had like the idea of networking nowadays. It was like, you're capitalizing on it, and it was so organic. Like nobody ever thought. I remember whenever this happened. Very clearly, I remember whenever this happened. Nobody ever thought that it was it was like anything other than just like Athene trying to help people out, and he did. He did help people out. Like even if there were selfish goals, people did get helped out indirectly.
We focused hard on lifting up small YouTubers who were doing great stuff, but just not getting a lot of views.
At the moment, he's promoting my videos on his channel. I just want to show my appreciation because he's helped me out enormously. I just got to thank the man, you know?
In one of the videos we made about this, Athene uttered the phrase, "Together to the top."
That's how we go together to the top.
I used to watch all of these, man.
I do it together. We're a fucking team.
This became a sort of mantra for a lot of YouTubers.
This is like
at the
2010.
Time, and it gave a big
somewhere
push
around
to
there.
Some who are nowadays among the biggest stars on the platform, and who still sometimes mention they'll never forget how Athene helped them grow.
Oh man.
For many people, when they talk about old school Athene, they actually refer to this era of Athene videos rather than the real early days, because from 2010 to 2012, these were the days of all our crazy travel videos, where we, for example, did E3, DreamHack, BlizzCon, and Gamescom, and it was also the Athene era of great collaborations, such as those with the Yogscast, Mia Rose, and the legendary videos with Swifty.
They were so good. Like, I'm telling you guys, like they were, dude, Total Biscuit. These videos were amazing. And it was so cool to see, especially like back then. Like the reason why, like me and Cody and Jeff would make videos that were like the Athene videos back in the day, man. The only problem is that we didn't have the hot girlfriend. We had all the other boxes locked down, but we didn't have the hot girlfriend.
There was so much more that we did in these years that it is challenging to summarize this time period. There were Athene's Starcraft stunts, the $500,000 product sponsorship with Razer, which all went to insane community giveaways.
I'm gonna hook you up!
And further internet activism in the form of an all-out assault on the SOPA and PIPA legislations, where rather than having people post hashtags, we took a more effective approach. And we heard back from senators saying our efforts to have people personally contact them really made a difference.
Talk to the manager.
We also took Together to the Top far beyond just promoting great smaller YouTubers. We worked hard to lobby behind the scenes to try to fix the broken YouTube partner landscape, because countless YouTubers were getting tricked into rocking.
Oh, bro, dude. Like, I remember, do you guys remember back if you played, I remember, I think it was Brain Deadly, a hunter. He posted a video how he was going to quit making content because of some fucking, because of fucking machinima. And I don't remember, like, back then, like, I didn't even know this was a thing, okay? Like, I just, you know, back then, like, I was like, the thing I was like, I might just scam him, man. Just scam him, bro. I didn't realize it was like a whole contract and shit. I didn't know you could even do that online. I had no idea. So it was completely fucking out of nowhere, man.
Deals with networks such as Machinima that would hold exclusive rights to their channel in perpetuity. We eventually consulted for Curse, which is now part of Twitch. Free of charge, we helped them set up the terms for what we advised them to call Union for Gamers, a new YouTube partner network that was the first to offer high CPMs without strings attached. Back then, YouTube partners were locked in with their network, legally and often even technically unable to leave when they wanted. We changed this with Union for Gamers.
Look at that.
And as if all of this isn't enough of a showcase of our over-the-top dedication, we were only just getting started. Because in 2012, we launched Operation Sharecraft.
See, I don't remember this. What was this?
We realized that making videos about leading a more proactive lifestyle
this was for the kids
in terms of inspiring people. And since actions speak louder than words, Athene came up with the most ambitious idea we had considered in years. To livestream for 100 days straight and attempt to fundraise $1 million for the most effective charity program we could find. All donations would go directly to these specific Save the Children programs, because when it comes to charity, we agreed we should never receive any benefits from it ourselves, financial or otherwise. It became easily one of the most difficult and demanding, but also one of the most groundbreaking projects we had ever done.
Like, this was like back in the day. Like there weren't really a lot of charity initiatives like what we have now. Like, it was a big fucking deal that this happened. And on top of that, like, he was able to raise a huge amount of fucking money. Like, it was crazy.
Hi, Dreamhack. Hi, Sweden.
Yeah.
Athene's Sharecraft project is the most ambitious charity event in the history of esports.
Yeah, it was huge, man. WoW was so popular, dude. It was, you guys have no idea. You have no idea. It was fucking beautiful. It was the best fucking time ever. 18 days and clear every single day. It was going to be a challenge. We're unlikely to make our ambitious
With the live streaming and with how things have been evolving, basically almost all donations have been coming from you guys. This entire event has been carried by the shoulders of our community. I've just been thinking, like, what can we do in order to spread awareness around this matter? What can I do? I've done research, and it's going to be done in a very responsible way. I'm going to go on hunger strike.
Hunger strike for 10 days.
We actually got international media with my hunger strike, with all the people also joining, contacting press. I want to do a big shout out to everyone that's been helping out. It really makes me smile to see everybody coming together.
Wow. Oh man, dude, I remember watching this. Didn't this have like 200,000 viewers? I remember watching. Oh, it was so good. Like, it had, imagine, dude, it had 200,000 viewers, something like that. 250,000 viewers in 2012. In 2012. Like, nowadays, like, people, like, still nobody really, like, nobody hits 200,000 viewers. Like, that's like a huge, big fucking... some Minecraft YouTubers do now. Actually, yeah, that's true. Some Minecraft YouTubers do now. But, like, back then, this was, like, the thing. Yeah, this was the fucking thing, man. Oh, yeah, the world first 60 Diablo.
This is what you guys have raised the past 80 days. Almost $1 million for children facing the worst hunger crisis in 60 years. If we hit the $1 million, I want you guys to go crazy.
We've hit it!
We've hit it?
We've hit $1 million!
We've hit $1 million! We've hit $1 million!
That's so badass.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
That's so much nostalgia.
During this time, Riot Games updated League of Legends with Athene's Unholy Grail. An in-game item named after Athene because of the amount of referrals he brought to the game. Sharecraft had taken its toll and we were exhausted. But now, we had a strong sense of direction and continued our efforts to not only raise funds, but also to give insight into the issues and what can be done by documenting our visits to the programs in the field.
Yeah, I remember this.
Moi, c'est le Major Georges Arbi, commandant de brigade gendarmerie de Djema.
Major Georges Arbi. I'm Athene, best gamer in the world. I thought it would be a cool idea to give them the possibility to do a Reddit AMA. This takes like the satellite connection through this.
Dude,
all right, we got it live, guys.
For a second there, I thought the guy was trying to take a picture of how much hair he lost on the back of his head, man. Yeah, it was... The thing is, like, you say it was cringe as fuck or whatever, but, like, at that time, like, Athene probably had more... Like, he had more records and, like, crazy shit that he had done in gaming than, like, really any other notable person. Whenever you think about it, right? I mean, because this is... At this time, he had gotten, like, multiple world firsts with, like, getting level 60... Or like level, I remember he got level 80. Well, they stopped him at like 79.5. I remember this video very clearly, and it was not cringe. It was epic back then. Yeah, it was so fucking badass. Like there was no cringe at all about this.
We moved our livestream to Twitch as Zone3D was shutting down, and we set up a unique agreement. We would never make 1 cent from our Twitch ads or even subscribers. And with full transparency, Twitch coordinated with Save the Children directly to make sure all subscriber revenue is donated to them and specifically goes to the highly effective programs that we agree upon. We also launched the first version of Gaming for Good, a simple and sort of never-ending Humble Bundle-like website where developers would allow us to distribute keys to their games in return for donations directly to charity, with no cut going to anyone else. With this additional tool at our disposal, we continued to hit milestone after milestone as we pulled off one crazy stunt after another. And
I do want to say also, I wanted to pause this real quick and say another thing, is that a lot of people do these things. Like there are a lot of people that raise money for charity and do these things, and they do get something out of it. Even though you're not getting money out of it directly, you're getting exposure and you're getting goodwill and you're getting something out of it, even though that something isn't tangible. Whenever I do a charity stream, I don't make a lot of money, but I do get a certain degree of goodwill out of it or something like that, right? But like, of course, even if you're not making any money off of it, you still do gain by raising money through charity and things like this. So, of course, this is a selfless act to a degree, but there are advantages that you get out of it too. That's all I'm really trying to get at.
we did several events in collaboration with game developers such as Blizzard and Hi-Res Studios. The main driver of donations remained our wacky livestream rather than game keys, but some of the events we did involved an entire lineup of additional streamers and personalities to help fundraise, of which in 2013
I wasn't around then.
CivHD did by far the most.
Yeah.
By the end of 2013,
who is this?
CivHD did...
Wait, there's no way, that's Civ? Dude, we had Civ on Allcraft, what the fuck? Holy shit, I didn't even know he was around then.
By far the most. By the end of 2013, we were mind blown at the fact that we were about to hit a total of $10 million
That's a lot of
raised,
fucking money.
leading to the story of gaming for good going mainstream.
That's big money.
You have raised, in concert with Razer, $9.4 million to save the children. That is a lot of money.
Gaming for Good, it's called. You're literally helping save children in Malawi, also Indonesia, Bangladesh.
It is pretty well known that on the internet, nasty things can happen when you stop making the content that your audience loves.
All of the content that he's involved in is fucking garbage. He's literally just runs around fundraising.
In our case, the repercussions became very serious over time.
Based on a review, spam, scams, or other malicious content.
And it started with some people making posts about our charity efforts being a scam.
There's a chance that he just got to scrape off like 1% off the top or something of the millions of dollars, right?
I feel like there's some scraping going on, but I feel kind of bad saying that because I'm saying that with no evidence.
It seemed to have no effect to repeatedly show evidence or go to extreme lengths to ensure transparency. Nor did it seem to matter that there was never any hint of proof of us actually getting any benefits from our charity work whatsoever. Slowly but surely.
Once people make up their mind about something, it doesn't matter what's true anymore. It only matters what they believe. So, like, for example, whenever I was dating Izzy, everybody thought that she was dating me for, like, clout or something like that. Even whenever I wasn't even streaming, right? Or like, you know, she was never really on my stream or anything. I remember there was a comment that, I mean, this is one I remember very clearly, that she was coughing for attention on the other side of my room so people would know that she was there whenever she was sick. She was coughing for attention. So here's what happens, right? Is that the idea of it becomes more powerful than the reality. Now, I don't remember, like, was Athene shaving money off the top or not? I don't know, right? I kind of assume not, because there's a lot of controls and checks and things like that with charity, but you can never be 100% sure. If I was to bet on it, I'd say probably not. But all I'm really getting at is that there's a point where people's opinion on something and how people feel about something is resilient to reality. It doesn't matter what the truth is. It doesn't matter what the facts are, because people know what the truth is regardless of the facts.
Among some people,
so it's
a
happened to me
narrative
too.
Was being constructed.
Yeah, it's happened to me too.
Is a toxic scumbag who ruins games for everyone and tricks people into donating to his fundraising scams. Never mind that Athene, to this day, barely ever did anything in games that would even affect other players at all, and never portrayed his in-game achievements, most of which are real and some obvious jokes, as anything to be taken serious. None of this seemed to matter, because Athene had stopped making funny videos, and his charity work was boring. This laid the groundwork for false allegations that one day reached a tipping point where they convinced even YouTube and Twitch to ban.
That definitely happens. Like, now, regardless of like what happened with him and like if there's anything else behind the scenes, like I know there's like some other random shit that happened back then. I don't remember really what it was, but like what I'm saying is like I don't really want to just like say he didn't do anything wrong, or I also don't want to say he did do something wrong, because I don't really remember very well. But like I'm not going to be convinced either way from somebody in chat, so don't bother. What I'm saying is that it does happen once somebody stops making content that people like. People learn and they begin hating that person because they don't like the person. They don't like you, they like Athene. So whenever you stop being Athene, then they don't like you. So this is what happened with Athene, is that Athene stopped making the content that people liked, and then he started making this other content. And there's also a certain degree of, there are people who do charities all the time, and because a person does charities all the time, that person is regarded or revered as some degree of moral paragon or some sort of great person or something similar to this. And then after that person stops doing it, and people, there's a certain degree of resentment that creates in certain types of people, that they see a person out there getting a lot of recognition for being this good person, and they're looking and waiting for that one thing that makes that person not who they really say they are. And the reason for that is because I think those people feel like no person could be you know, selfless in that way. And so they're waiting to find out the way to rationalize their worldview by learning something about this person that turns out to change, you know, how they feel. It's the same thing as like whenever Ludwig did the subathon, and people got really angry at him because he was only donating 50% of the money to charity, and they're like, well, he's still going to make a lot of money. There's no way that you can win with these people because they want you to lose.
Yes. But back in 2013, we thought these accusations were too ridiculous to ever have any significant consequences.
Yeah.
And we had bigger fish to fry. We were making a real difference, and none of this was going to stop us.
You coming talking shit about me? Talking smack? Hate it.
Right next to the kids, dude.
Hate it. You jelly. This shit is legit. You guys talking shit? Talking smack? Them kids got something to say to you. We're changing lives. You ain't changing shit. We saving them lives. You ain't changing shit. This is for them kids, yo. What you say now?
I love him just fucking using profanity and getting the kids to fucking say it along with him, man. It's so fucking funny. I love it. It's like I see you know, parents that like have their kids watching my stream. I'm like, ooh, boom. You know, here it is.
You jelly. This ain't legit. This is legit. Coming here hating, talking shit about me, saying I'm stealing your money. I got someone here from Save the Children. I ain't taking anything.
Doesn't take anything.
You jelly. Where you at, Jellyators? Where you at? On the LOL forums. Where am I? In the jungle. You jelly.
I forgot. People used to always say this, and I totally forgot people used to say this.
They're laughing at you. You jelly. They're laughing at you in your face. Where you at now?
We continued to fundraise with live streams from Ethiopia and videos from Indonesia. Other
I
highlights.
think this is like, that was kind of the issue, right? Is that people perceive that, like, whenever you blur the lines between it, like a character that you use and the who you really are, it's like people don't know if this is irony or self-aggrandizement. And I think people thought that was, and I think to some degree people believe that it was both. And I think that actually created a lot of resentment. Does that make sense? It's kind of like what happened.
From 2013 to 2015 include Athene's TED Talk, our massive and unique Minecraft experiment MC Next, and the first Athene documentary. But during this period, one humanitarian crisis shocked the world. The Ebola outbreak in West Africa. And while it dominated the news, a lot of it was focused on sensational headlines that mainly sparked fear.
Is the U.S. really prepared for an outbreak?
No, they're not.
Biological agents. Just shut down the flights and secure the borders.
Little was being done to raise awareness in ways that inspired empathy and support. We decided to do our part. Liberia was one of the areas where the death toll was highest. This is where we would go to document the crisis with very elaborate security measures and careful preparation.
That's crazy. Wow.
The only areas where Ebola is still really present right now in Liberia is actually where we are in Monrovia.
I saw that they shoot people that try to cross the border.
Yeah, because we have a lot of movement still of refugees and a lot of gangs in the area. We have anti-government groups operating in the area. Obviously, Ebola outbreak has been significantly affecting operations.
So let's say someone goes to the bathroom and has Ebola. You go to the bathroom afterwards. Like, do you have a chance of catching Ebola then?
Yeah, small chance. You would have a small chance. It is important to
We don't want dirt and Ebola in our office.
Facilities. This has been
a
disease that's had
that's good.
a very
Same.
major impact on
dude.
the people living in these three most affected countries.
The result was a full-length documentary It was widely reported on and enabled us to raise $100,000 for Save the Children's efforts.
That's good. That's big. Good.
Right now there is a patient coming in, and we're not allowed to shoot anything, but we will shoot like the way they are taking precautions and putting their suits on. So
see, I think like the whole, like the fucking, the macro idea behind this and like why people were like angry about Athene and this kind of, you know, the negativity was it's a shift in content. It's like if tomorrow I decided that I wanted to make political content, there would be a lot of people who would be fucking pissed off about that. Now, I talk about politics regularly on my stream, and I never really am afraid to talk about it, but it's not the primary content that I do. But if I moved over and I started doing that, and like this is even the case with like working out or something, like let's say politics is much more divisive. Let's just use something that's much more, you know, universally accepted, like working out or exercising. Let's say I wanted to be a fitness channel. There would be a lot of negativity behind that because I changed the content that I was doing. Does that make sense? It's just it's what happens with everybody because, again, people don't care about the person. They care about the content.
Because of the stigmatization, we're not allowed to shoot even the car that comes in and drives him in.
By people, I don't mean everybody. If you're not like that, great, thanks.
We have our
there are a lot of people who are.
We wear 3 pairs of gloves, 1 nitrile and 2 surgical. We wear a mask, we wear an apron, and we wear a hood and goggles, so no skin is exposed. This protocol is that we don't allow any skin to be exposed, just in case of any splash.
Fuck.
Almost all the gear that we use for PPE will be incinerated afterwards. Only a few things are washed and reused,
they're gonna burn it afterwards.
such as aprons, goggles, our boots, and scraps. So then when...
I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back, boys. I'll be right back. That's crazy.
Whenever we are ready, whenever we are completely dressed, we have our safety monitors, making sure that we are doing and following the right steps. We'll go in, and maybe in like 15-20 minutes, we'll come out. Okay? Just going to admit the patient, and assess him, and all. Okay? Thanks.
When we came back from all the US media appearances for the documentary, that's when our group started to grow. Athene's new podcast resonated with a lot of people who wanted to help out, and thus we added a volunteer application process. We began work on a massive new version of Gaming for Good. And with a growing team of now around 10 people, our little apartment was no longer sufficient as a makeshift headquarters. Once in our new location in Germany, the team continued to expand.
I basically quit my banking job and then came here.
Before I came over here, I studied nanostructure science.
We've grown so much. I mean, we come from Belgium with like a really small room.
A year ago, I was in a tiny apartment with only Reese, Athene, Tanya, and then Ricardo.
My skepticism was like washed away when I was there. The feeling you have is when you want to make a difference and to work together with those guys. I mean, you just make a difference. There's no bullshit.
Gaming for Good was reborn as a hybrid donation platform for streamers as well as for charity.
Dude, people used to use this. I forgot all about this. Holy fuck. They only bring up the good stuff in one angle? Of course they're gonna bring up the good stuff. Like, what do you think? He's gonna make his own video talking shit about himself? Like, of course, yeah. Wow, Athene made a video, and Athene said that Athene didn't do anything wrong. Whoa, wow. I would have never expected that. No shit. No shit he did. I always take into account the source.
Its
in which
first
you get your
big
information.
milestone was our Avengers event, where this time, by far, the star of the show was Zerator and his team. Gaming for Good was taking the live streaming landscape by a storm, and our fundraising events remained a success. Even when we fundraised not for charity but for ourselves, so that we could pay for our new location. We were on a course of becoming an ever larger and more capable team of activists.
What about like the cult stuff?
Our philanthropy even landed Athene an invitation to speak at the United Nations.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
So how does a philanthropist who gets invited to talk at the UN get banned on Twitch and YouTube without any specific instance of clear wrongdoing?
This guy is super, super shady.
He has been streaming constantly to promote this pyramid scheme Ponzi.
I'm not saying Athene is going to end up like a suicide cult.
Talk about Athene. I love shitting on Athene. It's so much fun. Okay, go ahead. He is a massive piece of shit scumbag fucker.
Okay, fuck it.
Jesus.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
That's always how it is. Human nature. People always want to, you know, up the ante. More, more, more. So if somebody gets wind of somebody doing something absolutely terrible, they're probably just going to make a video about it and potentially damage this person's entire fucking reputation on something that could have been a lie. There are tons of exposed videos that go out.
I do want to say that I was not talking about Athene, and this context was not about Athene. But yeah, everybody knows this, right? Like people, there's no accountability online for publishing false information, especially about like other content creators. So yeah, there's no real accountability. It's very bad. I don't know like what the wait, same shirt? No, it wasn't. No, it's not. What do you no, it wasn't.
On something that could have been a lie. There are tons of exposed videos that go out and they're fucking lies. It's not even true.
Clickbait has existed for about as long as the internet has been around. But in the past years, every corner of the web, from Reddit to Facebook, and from NBC to BuzzFeed, has been affected by an escalation in these regards, with results like the Boston Bomber witch hunt and Pizzagate that sometimes have serious real-life consequences.
I was so disappointed whenever I found out it was
the main one, I think, is that it creates a monetary incentive to create more fucking exposed content. You guys ever notice, if you go and you look at these exposed videos, they all have ads on them? What do you think, this guy's doing it because he's some noble fucking Batman? No, he wants money and credibility and recognition. That's what they want. They don't care about the person. They don't care about the idea. That's why these clowns are making videos on YouTube and not talking to the fucking police. The last thing that they're doing it for is because they're trying to be a good person.
Absolutely.
So these videos and the success of the videos breeds more of them.
Even with our relevance fading.
It's definitely I think it's not as much of an issue. Like I made that video in like 2018, I think 2019. I don't remember exactly. And exposed videos were worse then than they are now. I think that now there's a little bit more accountability in it because you have like a lot more traditional, protections that people have with like, you know, being able to sue each other and different shit like that. But even now you see exposed videos that go out and these videos are made and it's very clear that this video has an intent to damage a person's character. And because videos, here's what the problem with it is, right? Is that exposed videos are more popular, the more extravagant or the more controversial the thing that happens is. So, for example, somebody calling somebody else a retard is not going to be as controversial as somebody calling somebody else the N-word, right? Because they're just worse. So what does that trend to? Controversial content makes people want to click on it. So the more controversial it is, the more money it's going to make, because the more people click on it, the more people see the ads. The more people see the ads, the more money it makes, and that creates a profit incentive for people to embellish content. And whenever you're talking about embellishing negative stories about other people that can impact their real life, that's really scary.
Making controversial statements about Athene and what he's been up to continue to be something that draws a lot of viewers and attention.
I watched the Glink video.
Knowing that our transparency and factual responses don't tend to make much difference, most of our reactions to these kinds of occurrences were satirical, which made it simultaneously hilarious and shocking when our over-the-top satirical responses then got used as evidence of us really being an evil cult with nefarious schemes. And in 2019, it got us banned from fundraising for Save the Children.
Jesus. That's crazy.
Although we had faced many obstacles before and were well aware of how controversial Athene was, we had never imagined that our unconditional philanthropic efforts would become the target. The relationship we had actively built with Save the Children over the past decade had made us highly efficient at having the biggest impact we possibly could. We were able to raise funds for the most effective child and newborn survival programs, and by doing so unlock matching grants for these programs from governments and corporations. It was heartbreaking to see Save the Children be forced to shut all of this down due to the pressure that was put on them after another viral Athene hit piece.
I mean, like, yeah, that definitely is true, but, like, there was also the whole thing with the girl that was crying, and she said that, like, she was, like, abused. Like, it's like they didn't talk about, like, the compound shit. They didn't talk about, like, the logic cult. There's a lot of these things that, like, the cryptocurrency thing, a lot of these things that just kind of didn't really get talked about that were the real reasons why people didn't like Athene, or people were mad or didn't trust Athene. I think it was mostly the logic cult and the cryptocurrency. The girl, like, and she apologized later on. That's a wash. Like, I don't know if she was compelled to do that or what. But ultimately, it's the other two that you can just see directly there. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And that's because he made the video. Yeah, it's because he made the video, right? Of course. And again, like, anytime, this is I think this is a really good lesson for a lot of people out there, especially if you're younger. Every time that you read something about information, always remember where it's coming from and who gains from you believing it. And if the person that's giving it to you gains from you believing that information, hold that information to a higher degree of scrutiny than you normally would.
They received tweets and emails from viewers who were planning to urge their biggest partners, such as Disney, Sony, and Starbucks, to stop supporting Save the Children.
That's wild.
It left them little choice but to cut ties and even tell us we were no longer allowed to fundraise for them.
Yeah, just bad
publicity.
publicity.
We have long come to understand that it is wildly profitable for influencers to capitalize on YouTuber drama, be it real or fabricated.
Oh yeah.
But for those who followed it closely, it was hard seeing that instead of fighting it, we were taking the punches. As we had already realized, we could only accept the cancellation of our charity efforts. The damage was done, and any response from our end could not...
I don't see why didn't they just get together like this. Maybe it's a complicated reason, but like, why didn't they just get together with like a vice president or somebody like that of Save the Children and just have that person talk to the audience? Because I bet they probably would have done that. You're watching propaganda and I feels like you're not realizing that. What do you mean I'm not realizing it? Well, wait a second. So do you really think that I'm so dumb that I don't realize that Athene making a video about Athene is not going to paint him in a positive light? Do you really think that I don't know that? Do you think I have like, oh, wait, what? Of course I fucking know that.
Compete with the virality of these sensational videos.
Yeah.
We had learned and grown immensely throughout our journey, and we realized that while this was the end of this chapter, it was also the start of a new one. One where our efforts would extend to getting involved on the ground ourselves, starting our own programs and inventing new ways in which we could be as effective as possible, but now independently of large donors or matching corporations and governments. Our projects have always been focused on raising awareness, challenging individuals to think for themselves, and inspiring a more proactive lifestyle. This has largely been why, over the past few years, more than 250 volunteers have been a part of the group, and we are now a highly competent core team with more than 40 people. With such a large and capable operation, it was only natural we would start working on a new project that would drastically amplify the impact we had had thus far. But the internet had changed, and the time where great TED Talks went viral and charity projects would often galvanize massive communities had kind of passed.
I don't think so.
Everything, including gaming.
Yeah, remember whenever I did my charity thing? It was like maybe like 2 months ago or something like that. I don't remember when. But I did my charity thing, and it was incredibly popular. I mean, like, tons of people watched it. We raised, just by ourselves, I think it was $372,000. And then I contributed $10,000 of my own dollars. So Yeah, we raised a lot of money on our own. And I think that was just universally positive. Everybody was happy about it.
Also became more mobile oriented, and whether you liked them or hated them, casual games with in-app purchases began to crush even the biggest AAA releases in terms of revenue.
Yeah.
That is why, a year and a half ago, the team started working on Athene's next ambitious project that would aim to become a top-earning mobile game, as well as establish a new and much more high-profile platform for our charity fundraising, and reinvent gaming for good. That project became a strange little game called Clash of Streamers. There are similarities to other popular mobile games, but rather than collecting, for example, Final Fantasy heroes, the characters you collect are actually Twitch streamers. There is even blockchain integration that allows players to export their progress and trade these characters independently of our servers. This makes use of our own custom blockchain tokens, which were distributed but never sold, and despite some claims that they were going to be a scam, are actually fully operational and integrated as a core feature in the game.
Yeah, this is why people don't like Athene. This is exactly it. Like, this is the exact reason. Like, I don't know why. This is it right here. Like, taking a video and then, you know, making it all about you know, how you were unfairly fucking, you know, treated, and how people gave you the wrong idea and everything like that. It's for charity. I'm sure there's something that they'll get something out of it, right? But like what I'm getting at here is that this is just the wrong way to market a product, because if you do that, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up alienating people, because it's a different message. It's like whenever you raise it's like at the very end of some video to make you feel sorry for somebody, and then they put their GoFundMe underneath. You ever see like a tweet or something like that? Somebody makes a tweet to make people feel sorry for them, and then the tweet gets a lot of traction, and then they put their GoFundMe or their PayPal link down below, and it just completely invalidates everything that they said. Like, this happens the same thing. Like, this, it's a bad strategy. That's the truth. It's finish the video. Yeah, we'll finish the video. It's fine.
First glance, this may all sound overly complicated or technical.
We watched half of an hour of his content. I owe him a minute and a half of watching this video.
And so has our next project, which is even far more ambitious. Because when it comes to how our game integrates crypto, it is merely a proof of concept for an endeavor of a much larger scope. Our Doobie blockchain token, or decentralized universal basic income technology, will serve as the foundation for basic income pilot programs in developing regions this year. Through all the blowback and obstacles that we've had to face, we have learned that the world is a shithole in a state of demented late-stage capitalism, which we will exploit with a shameless cash grab that we will use to build and fund stuff that actually matters. So go ahead and download this trash already.
So I think that's probably the best way you can market it, you know, in terms of like, I think that putting it in this video was a bad idea. But overall, like, yeah, I'm a little bit confused. At least they're being honest about their game being a cash grab. Yeah, it's hard to say. 40-minute ad? Well, the thing is, like, it's not just it's a 40-minute ad or whatever. Like, that doesn't really matter a whole lot to me. It was a good video, I would say. I mean, of course, he didn't touch on a lot of the topics that I think if I was Athene, like, this is what I would do. And I don't know, maybe he did do this and it didn't work. I can't really say for sure. I haven't paid attention to every video he's ever released. But what I would do is I would do like even almost a post on Reddit or something like that. And I would say, come at me with the main accusations that you guys have of like things that we did or anything like that, and then go through and try to disprove as many of those as possible. Like with actual analytical evidence, not you jelly or anything like that, but with fucking financial reports, analytical evidence, and things like that. Because those are the ways that people are really going to stop believing it. That's what it is.